pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to the Vlog-A-Thon 4.0. And so, for this partition in the Vlog-A-Thon 4.0, let me just be the first to say at this point that, well, I know I've talked quite a bit about some of the things relating to my other social media accounts, like my Tango, Mastodon, WhatsApp, and even Storyfire and all that good stuff, but I feel like I should get on back to that at some point. I really should, because I actually did make myself a bit of a milestone in terms of, well, Storyfire related blaze, which of course resulted in a part of a mini-series that I will have out pretty soon, which is dedicated to me performing certain Guinness World Records and attempting to break them. At least 7 different milestones have come around, which resulted in my idea to create my own mini-series of something like that. But I will say, though, that in terms of all the social media platforms of mine that I still utilize whatsoever, like my Mastodon and Tango and the like, I guess the real big problem is that I seem to have a lot of trouble at least trying to find a way to continue onto these other platforms of mine. I will say that for the time being, they are not necessarily doing as good as they probably should, but in most cases that's probably a normal thing to have. A lot of platforms that are not as well known as the ones we usually utilize just so happen to be around. Because even though there are a lot of platforms out there that seem to be in continuous usage, like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Wow. Never want to say that name ever again in my entire life. But those apps, of course, are pretty much some of the best known in the entire world. Even by today's standards, we could probably at least agree that Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, those are some of the best known platforms in social media related history. But we still do have a lot of others along the way, like Tumblr and the now dead Vine. Of course, Vine still has a huge cult following behind it, myself included. Being that I was, at the time, the last person to ever leave that platform because of, well, Twitter did not want to have it around anymore because of financial problems they had going on at the time, and they decided to shut down Vine after a span of around 4.5 years. But that's probably fine. Not everybody's a winner at this point. But Vine was at the time one of the biggest things to ever happen. It also was one of the main reasons that my Twitter account got so popular over time. Aside from the game tweet community influence, and also because of how steady and calm I was during such hard times that other people were going through. I kept a good, positive influence, free of discrimination, free of hatred, free of anguish, and many other things that would normally get a lot of people in trouble. So, of course, me keeping something like that around was a huge importance to me. So, of course, I will say, for right now at this moment, I will continue some work on these other platforms of mine, since I still have them downloaded to my phone, which is already itself quite a big accomplishment. I still have the apps on my phone, which means that I have not given up on these platforms, and I still do want to use them. But the thing is, with all the business that I've got going on right now, with everything that I have, it might be difficult to put in exactly how long a day I might be able to get onto some of these platforms to at least check up on what I'm doing. So, I guess though, until any of those things happen, if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.